everyone, this is Star, and today I'm here to talk to you about something that will apply to why I first started this channel in the first place. I mean, there's some obvious reasons. I started because I love video games, and because I love talking, and because I wanted to share my videos with the internet, and just kind of want to have fun. But there is another deeper reason that, not to get all philosophically here, but a reason why I started this channel. As any of you probably noticed, well, definitely noticed, is I'm a girl. Now, I'm not here to get all preachy about, feminism or girl power or any of that stuff, but really, what I want to talk about was more the idea of the stereotype, and, well, I came to kind of epiphany recently, and I think I came to understand how it exists. Now, you can now start my story. I have loved video games ever since I was a little girl. Frankly, I've probably been, quote-unquote, playing them since I was a toddler. If, repeatedly jumping off a cliff as Mario counts as playing a video game. But anyhow, so, for me growing up, I would, play with my friends, and most of them were boys. One of the things that I noticed growing up is that girls are generally not expected to be good at playing video games. Like, I don't really know how this quite came about, or if it was ever directly said to me, but I always got this sense that if I lost in a game, that it wasn't really considered a big deal, because it was kind of just expected of me, because I was a girl, and the guys were just some reason assumed to be somehow proficiently better at video games than girls. And this always really confused me. I mean, there's some kind of biological component that makes guys better than video games. And as I started to get older and reach more age I did now, I noticed that there's plenty of guys that are about just as skilled as me. And I would not say, I know when I'm recording, I like to brag about how pro I am and awesome at games. But really, I probably just got like average skill. Maybe slightly above. Maybe. The point is, I don't see any kind of component that connects me to being, not as good as a gamer because I'm a girl, so I never understood why that's assumed. But then again, there is some evidence that, if you're into the pro gaming scene, like League of Legends, StarCraft, or, more recent ones like Hearthstone and Overwatch, you'll notice that there's a huge majority of male pro gamers, and we've never really had a champion female gamer, and that kind of contributes to the idea that even supports evidence that girls aren't as good at video games as guys. It doesn't make sense to me. Is there a biological reason? And what the answer is yes and no. There is a reason why currently, at least in our timeline, majority of guys are better at girls in video games, but not for the reason that you might think. Now, to make this sense, I had to bring up a friend of mine, Madame. Now, Madame is engaged to my very good best friend, Slada. And he'll probably be meeting Slada in some of my other videos later if I ever can get him around doing a collab with me. Anyhow, that's getting off topic. Now, Madame had never really played video games her whole life. Since Slada is a gamer, Madame wanted, to participate in his, quite serious hobby. So, he started introducing her to some games. It's kind of like the stereotypical thing you see where, a guy teaches his girlfriend to play games and, oh, she's not very good. Well, I couldn't really figure out why she was having so much trouble. Until one day, Slada said, why don't you play Half-Life 2? Because he was trying to introduce her to the first-person shooter genre, and what better game to introduce someone to, the shooter genre than Half-Life 2. So, she starts playing the game and playing the open tutorial part of the game, where you're pretty much learning the controls and how the basic things work. And she is confronted with a puzzle where if you played the game, you'll probably remember this. In the tutorial, there is a puzzle where you have to push boxes around to get up to a higher place. It's very basic, game puzzle stuff. And this is something that if you had been playing games, in the past, you're very familiar with it. It's not hard to figure out. She could not figure out how to get up to the higher level by pushing these boxes around. And it seems like a very basic thing. I was just kind of marveling at this. Like, I couldn't believe she couldn't figure it out. I mean, she's not a stupid girl. She's very intelligent. You know, she's a lady, much more ladylike than I am, and she's a sweet, wonderful girl. And you know, the fact that she could not figure it out didn't make sense to me. But then I started thinking about it. If you're a gamer and you turn on a game for the very first time, you generally have an idea what to do, even if you've never played the game before. I mean, every single game has a little different controls and a little different setup and a little different way it works, but it's all generally, you know, once you've caught one fish, you kind of caught them all deal. I'm someone that, you know, one of my earliest games I ever played was Zelda Link to the Past. And in Link to the Past, you know, the whole, you know, simplicity of puzzles was introduced to me at a very young age. And if you're a boy and you're a gamer, chances are your parents probably bought you a game console when you were a child. And there's a reason for that. Sometime around 80s, I believe. Around that time, video games companies made the decision to market video games specifically to children in the toy aisle. And around that time, the toy aisle was divided between girls and boys. So they chose the boy half of the aisle to market it towards. And so when it comes down to when parents, you know, were buying toys for their boys, they bought them video games. And they didn't buy video games for the girls. So the basic skills, you know, motor skills, and little, like, nuances like just, you know, pushing boxes around to get to a higher level were taught to the boy gamers from a young age. And a rare case like mine, where I also learned it from very young childhood. And it's a prevalent fact that when you learn something as a small child, you're gonna, like, have a natural more understanding and intensity to it. That's why it's so difficult to try to teach your grandparents how to use a computer, because you learned to use a computer when you were younger. They didn't. It's harder to wrap your mind around a new concept than it is around a concept that you've been introduced to since a young age. And watching Madame try to play the game, I came to understand that. It's not that girls have some biological component that keeps them from being as good at games as boys. It's a simple fact that around the age group that, you know, when you're in your 20s and 30s, around that age group of gamers, the girls, if they're, you know, in that age group and playing video games, they're, you know, there's very few of them that learn those skills from a young age. And the ones that learn them from an older age are automatically at a disadvantage, because things you learn when you're older, you just don't take to as well. So that's my understanding about why girls are considered less good, not as good gamers as boys. But good news is, in the current generation, the generation of our kids, I mean, generation us, are having kids, not our kids are having kids, but thankfully not that late in life yet. Anyhow, our kids of our generation, games are being more marketed towards a general audience instead of just, you know, boys. People might argue, oh, well, you know, girls aren't into this competitive games, and maybe that's a thing. You know, I like competitive games, but, you know, I grew up around boys, so I'm a little different in that area. So maybe, arguably, socially, or biologically, girls have different tastes in video games. I admit, I like a good game. You know, I'm a big fan of Harvest Moon. I like a lot of resource management games. And, you know, and maybe there is, you know, a component of boys being more geared towards competitive games or violent shooters or whatever, you know. But the fact is, video games in general, as a form of entertainment, as an art form, it is something that boys and girls can equally enjoy. The stereotypes that evolve about boys and girls, it's not to say that what I basically want to say is that it's not untrue. Stereotypes form for a reason. But it exists not for the reason we think. Yes, in our generation, because of the way that girls were raised and boys were raised towards video games, that unfortunately the girls in, you know, in the adult age group right now are at a disadvantage because they didn't get to develop those early video game skills. So next time you're trying to teach your girlfriend to play video games, understand she's not crashing the car, or not figuring out how to jump that obstacle because she's not inclined towards video games, or she's stupid, or anything silly like that. She's simply just not trained from a young age. And you know, give her time, she may pick it up, or maybe she'll never be as good as you. But I want you guys to accept and love the fact that video games is a world of wonder. There's so many types, and it's something that we all can enjoy and we can all take a part of, whether you know you're just a casual gamer or a YouTuber or a competitive boy, girl, or a little baby. But there's even some games babies will like, believe it or not. That's basically all I want to say for this video, and I promise the next video I'll, just be a regular game video. We can go have our usual fun. Thank you for taking time to listen to me, and I hope that you feel like you've come for a new appreciation for your fellow female gamers from this video. And for all my girls out there, stay strong, have fun, and if you're one of those girls that didn't play video games as a kid, don't feel bad about it. Just keep practicing and keep at it, and most importantly, have fun. So that's all the time I have for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!